If you're having one meal, like a light breakfast, maybe a lunch, but probably not consistent, then a big supper, you may be getting like alarmingly low amount of calories, which just means you're nutrient deprived. And that's why your body isn't functioning as it should be.
And that lets you save. Okay.
Welcome to a brand new edition of Ageless Energy, where we talk about how to burn fat, increase energy, and balance hormones for women over 40. Over the past 20 years as a performance coach, I've worked with hundreds of women that have the exact same struggles you do. I hope to shine some light with this podcast on what can be the most challenging time of your life and let you know there is hope to find success with your health and what you're looking for. Please share and enjoy.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to another Ageless Energy show. I was thinking about welcome back, but some of you may very well be new. So if you're new, welcome. We're excited to have you here, and we're excited to dive in. Today I'm talking about, is it burnout or hormone? Wow. Is it a little bit early for me? Is it burnout or hormones? So that's going to be the main topic today. We are broadcasting live from our private Ageless Energy Facebook group. So if you're not in that group and you're listening elsewhere and you'd like to be, you're more than welcome to join us. In this group, we talk about a lot of talk about our supplements, but in most cases, I'll give you what we call an I help statement. So if you're not sure who I am, my name is Drew Tadia, founder and CEO of True Form Life. For the past 20 years, we've been helping women 40 plus increase energy, burn body fat, and balance hormones. So if that's you, you've come to the right place. And that's what we talk about in our private Facebook group, more so than publicly. I think we are a bit more intimate and we are a bit more detailed. So and the reason why someone's like, well, why is it private? The reason it's private because it's just a bit more secure. Often on public groups, people come in and they spam and they put a bunch of sales nonsense that we don't allow. So you have a bit more control when it's private. And I have also found people are more willing to share and open up and be a part of our community when they know it's private. You can also, they're doing other things like Facebook lets you post anonymously. So at any rate, you're more than welcome to join us there, facebook.com/trueformlife, facebook.com/ageless energy. Otherwise, everything else that we do is found on our main website, trueformlife.com. So sometimes women come to me and they'll be feeling tired no matter how much they sleep. So there's a number of different things happening here, but I want to focus on today, which is a lot of times women, they come to me and they say they have been sleeping, but it feels like they haven't gotten a restful night's sleep. And they always wake up a little bit foggy, a little bit groggy. That may be addressed more so in our masterclass, but that could be a hormone imbalance, which is what I'm talking about. Not necessarily sleep in particular that you're lacking. It's more particularly the balancing of your hormones, which is what you need. And we don't see a lot of that happening. So the reason I wanted to bring this up is because often I'll see women, they'll say, well, I'm trying to sleep. I got to improve my evening routine, maybe my morning routine. That's fantastic. That's usually my advice. But on top of that, if your hormones are all over the place, it makes it really difficult to get a good night's sleep. So I'll dive into that a little bit here as I carry on. Sometimes motivation seems more particularly down, and that could sometimes people are like, oh, that's just burnout, just burnt out, I need a break, which is okay, but it also could be an imbalance in hormones. So just the lack of motivation on a regular basis and having a hard time getting that back. And then if you've been hard on yourself and you're wondering like, what's wrong with me? There may not be nothing wrong with you. You just need a little bit of balancing on the hormonal side and you'll be fine. And we've seen that across the board with ladies in our MAP program, is that once we start to balance their hormones, everything in their life, more particularly their health, but we know that if our health is not together, our life seems upside down. So once we start to balance their hormones, there's a brand new light energy lift off their shoulders. It's pretty amazing to be a part of. Okay, so burnout, let me tell you the difference here. Burnout is usually prolonged stress. So what you see is an increase of cortisol levels, which again is an imbalance of hormones. And then you see adrenal fatigue on a deeper level. So you could see adrenal fatigue on a lighter. I feel like I've worked with some of our clients and members that had really stressful jobs for a long time, and they're not stressed out. They are adrenal fatigue burnt out, and it's a completely different level of stress. So you need more work and more time and more effort to change and fix and adjust. So there's a difference. There's a difference between being burnt out with prolonged stress. There's a difference between emotional exhaustion. So sometimes women in this age group, they're dealing with a parent or family member that are going through health issues. That is emotional exhaustion that you may be dealing with. And then lastly, I just put nothing in the tank. You just feel that you have nothing left to give. And that's why I feel it's so important to fill your tank first. And that's really hard for women to hear in this age group, is because you're nurturers and you're so used to giving everything you have to everyone else first. And by not giving anything to yourself, then you have nothing left for others. So we're going to bounce over to signs it's hormonal and that you're not just being lazy. So a little bit of a difference there. So if you have an afternoon, sometimes we've seen this. So there's a difference. Sometimes people get the afternoon crash after lunch. There could be a number of different things happening here. Like that could be the nutrients or lack of nutrients that you're having. It could be the meal that you have just consumed. And it could be a hormone imbalance that you may feel like you're just lazy, but that's not exactly what's happening with your body. You could feel wired at night, but exhausted at the morning. That's part of an evening routine that needs to be properly established. But often we'll hear women in this age group, they feel like more alert and awake and alive the later the evening goes, and then they don't sleep very well and then exhausted in the morning. So often that's more hormonal than just being burnt out. Brain fog or memory issues, same deal. A lot of women come to me and they feel like I have to go see a doctor because I feel like I might have early onset dementia, which is just a bit scary. I could completely understand that. I'm not saying you shouldn't do that. I'm just saying like that brain fog is a real thing, often in the menopausal state, and there's things that you can do about that, and that's why we're doing a full masterclass on. Not so much. So there's anxiety and constant overwhelmment. So I actually heard recently from a couple. We were talking about the masterclass, and I actually sent out an email to our list, and I said, "Hey, are you guys interested in this?" Because we don't want to run something that's not of interest. But I've heard a lot of women say, "I'm dealing with brain fog, and I want some more mental clarity, and I have trouble focusing." So I said, "Okay, well, let's do a very specific deep dive into mental health, brain health training." And a lot of women have said, not a lot. Few people said, I am overcommitted. I'm feeling a little bit anxious and overwhelmed, so I don't know if I should commit to something else. And I understand that is certainly a valid point, not to put more things on your plate. Again, that could very well be a hormone imbalance. And if you haven't really done anything to balance your hormones on a regular basis, not just once, then there's probably something going on there that needs to be adjusted for your body to be functioning the way you would like it to be. I think I already put this: loss of motivation, or the things that you used to enjoy don't necessarily you don't necessarily enjoy anymore. So that's something to consider. So common triggers is perimenopause or menopause. I just already said that. I mean, there could be postmenopause as well. I mean, it's all relevant to what you're going through right now. Like 40, sometimes we'll have someone come in that's like 35, 38, and they're like, "Hey, is this content for me? Because I feel like I'm hitting menopause early." I'm like, 100%. You can hit menopause really early in life, and unfortunately have to deal with some of this stuff when you may not be ready. But the women 40 plus would also tell you that they're not ready to deal with some of this stuff too. So, and then we'll have some women come at 65 plus, and they're like, "Hey, you say 40 plus, does that mean me too?" And I'm like, "Yeah, you're over 40. You're dealing with a lot. It's dealing with a lot of the same thing." It's like looking at osteoporosis, arthritis, the types of workouts that you're consuming, the increase of protein, or did I say workouts you're consuming? The type of workouts that you are completing, or the mobility that you're trying to gain or keep. It's the lack of muscle mass. It's very similar. You don't necessarily deal with all of these things earlier on, but certainly as we get older, there's changes that are happening in our body that we need to address. And unfortunately, often I see that people are not addressing them, which is where the health issues come in. But however, there's hope. There's light at the end of the tunnel. You see them, these women start to address them, and we get a chance to work with them inside our Metabolism Accelerator program, and they start to see real changes, and they start to sleep better, and they can finally burn body fat, and they can balance their hormones, and they gain confidence, and they fit in their clothes. And then we get these incredible testimonials that absolutely make our day. So there's definitely hope. So the long-term dieting is one that we see. So that really destroys your metabolism, which negatively affects your hormones. So long-term dieting, big increases in gaining weight and dropping weight. So you see someone that may be doing fasting, keto, Ozempic, those are the hot topics, at least right now. Those usually offer more extreme results in a shorter amount of time. So you see a rapid weight loss. None of those are sustainable for 99% of the population. You're not going to do those. Most people aren't going to do all of those forever, or any of those forever, which means once you stop doing it, you're going to gain that weight and probably some more. That means that your metabolism is trying to figure out what's going on. Your hormones are out of whack because you've gained so much weight and lost so much weight, and that metabolism needs to be reset. So that's the long-term dieting. And then we see under eating. This is probably the most common. If I would say there's one single thing that women in this age group come to me for, or that we could change and make instant results, is the under eating. Most women think that they don't need to eat, or they don't have time to eat, or if they eat, they're going to gain weight. Like I would say a good majority of women that come to me are malnourished. They have a lack of nutrients. So if you're having one meal, like a light breakfast, maybe a lunch, but probably not consistent, and then a big supper, you may be getting like an alarmingly low amount of calories, which just means you're nutrient deprived. And that's why your body isn't functioning as it should be. So we think that there's all kinds of things that are wrong with us, which may be true, but one simple fix, maybe it's not that simple if you don't know what you're doing, but an easy fix for me to recommend is once you start consuming more calories and balancing your macros, that changes like almost instantly overnight. That's why so many of our women say, oh my gosh, I've seen more results in the last 2 weeks than I have in the last 20 years. Also because you haven't really changed anything in the last 20 years, right? Let's be fair. So, some women come to me and they're like, I've been having toast for breakfast for the last 10 years. And I'm like, gonna have to change that, right? Let's see. Too much cardio. Women, I think this is changing a little bit. Women are focusing more on being strong, lean. That's where we'd like to get you. But the too much cardio is burning your muscle mass, and you need to keep your muscle mass because you're losing it naturally at a rapid rate as you age, causing osteoporosis, arthritis. There's a number of imbalances there. I'm struggling to not dive into that too much. High intensity workouts. This is more rare than too much cardio, but I see a lot of women they'll come over and they're used to doing Olympic lifts or heavy lifting or deadlifting or bench pressing, when in my opinion, at least for the results they're looking for, that when they come to us, they have no business doing those types of movements. So they may be working through injuries, or they may be working through a number of different imbalances from your body being in that flight or fight, pushing to the max every time you show up. Like you could show up at a gym like heightened, like in a heightened state of being. You know, like you're like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna have to do 50 burpees. That's not where we want you to be at. Or I'm gonna have to deadlift all this weight. Like your body doesn't want to be in that state of mind, a state of being. Like that's a flight or fight state. That's a increased cortisol level. Like it's just not a good place to be. And I see it so often. It's not beneficial. So as women, so we see a lot of women come through as nurses. We have X-ray techs. We have teachers in that caregiver role. It's very emotional. So that emotional stress of always kind of going up and down, like you're in a nursing home and someone passes away. So some type of stress increases, imbalancing your hormones, like easy one's cortisol, right? If you're going through that on a regular basis, like if that's your job, if that's your life, like it's pretty challenging to not have imbalances in your body that need to be addressed regularly. So that emotional, and it's saying like you're like a mother, right? Mother, grandparent, you have kids, you have grandkids, and you're always worried about your kids or your grandkids, or you helicopter parenting them, which I have done. It's hard not to. I have to consciously always be like, give him space. Or like I let him run. I'm pretty fast myself. So I feel like I could catch him, or I could. But my wife doesn't let him. She doesn't let him go very too far because she's not like so confident to snatch him up if she needs to. But sometimes I'll just let him run. Like there's a big giant park that we live next to, and I'll let him run and he loves to run. He's like, it's so amazing to watch him run. It's like the ultimate freedom. He just runs and runs and runs, and I love to watch him run. So he's running across the park. This happened actually one time at the airport. It was like this huge long hallway, and like there's nothing dangerous there. But like I think not getting into parent advice. I'll just give you my perspective. But so you see him running, and then people are like, they're looking at him. He's at 3 at the time of this recording. So they're looking at him, and then they're kind of looking around, and they're looking at him, and they're like trying to find like parent or someone to like catch him or hold him or put him on a leash. Because like you can't let it. Like if you let a kid go 2 arms lengths away, people are like, what's going to happen? Like I try to give him space. Don't smother your kid.
One of the things I would like to ask of you guys is that some of you know that I don't run ads on the show and don't plan on in the immediate future. So the only ask I have for you is that you help us spread the word so we can help more women burn body fat, increase energy, and balance their hormones. And the only way that we can do that is if you can rate and review this podcast. So the single thing that I could have you do or could ask of you is to leave a review. It'll take 5 minutes or one swipe of the thumb. It would mean the absolute world to me. And more importantly, you could change the world for someone else. As many of you know, there's plenty of women that struggle in this age group for balancing hormones, increasing energy, and burning body fat. So if you could help spread the word, that would make a big difference in our life and probably someone else's as well.
Ignoring my last one here before we get into a bit more solutions. I'm only going to be on for about 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. But ignoring signs of stress too long. That's like the adrenal fatigue I told you about. So you could be stressed out, like a heightened state. And I go through stressful states too, but I work really hard to reel myself back in. And then I work really hard to avoid that also. So if I know, let's say like if there's a person or a customer or an employee that's really stressful in my life, I remove them. Like I don't want them in my life because I know that stress causes damage like internally on a cellular level. And it takes weeks, months, sometimes years to get past that deep level of stress. So if you're in a stressful state for a long amount of time, that's putting damage on your body that needs to be healed, which takes a long amount of time. So I would suggest, if possible, doing your best to avoid long forms of stress on a regular basis. I understand that's difficult for a lot of people. You have a stressful job that you feel like you can't leave. You have a boss that stresses you out, or you don't like your coworkers, whatever it is. Just understand like that's affecting you on different levels that you probably don't know. And on top of that, if you've been in that stressful state for so long, that's your normal. And that doesn't mean it's okay. That means that your body is just vibrating at a higher frequency in a less than positive way. Like for example, I don't want to get off track too much. Like when you exercise, you increase your heart rate. That's a good stress on your body, right? If you're having an energy drink that increases your heart rate, that is not a good stress on your body. So if you're looking at the stressful state of your workplace, for example, that is not a good place to be in. And because that turns into your normal and you don't notice that you're stressed out anymore, doesn't mean that it's okay or that you've accepted it. Your body is still like, and you won't notice it till you leave, till you get out of that stressful state. And then your body's going to probably crumble, which is a good thing because it needs to be built back up stronger. But certainly a place I would suggest trying to get out of. Let's go over some quick tips. How to support your body. So nourish with food, that's a big one. So you need to having enough nutrients in your body is so very important. And then balancing your macros. So I would say lean towards protein. I don't like that because everyone says eat more protein, but the problem here is that we're a heavy carb society. Easy to get enough carbs in. And the solution, and you have to put more effort into getting more protein. So I have some hacks for you that are super, super simple. If you want them, just comment below because I don't have too much time to get into them. But so I would say gentle movement, ease your way into full body movements, full body exercises instead of trying to do something extreme or nothing at all. That's usually what we see, all or nothing. Not seeing the results, I'm going to do something crazy like sign up for a marathon and I don't need to run 5Ks. I don't know if that's a great idea. I'll leave that up to you, but easing into usually works best that I find. And the type of movements your body needs, which is different than power lifting or doing 500 burpees in 10 minutes. I like magnesium. I'm a big fan. It's a natural stress reliever because it's a relaxant. It's a natural relaxant. As a stressful state, we're all amped up, always fired up. You need something to relax yourself. Looking at supplements in particular, that would be a good one. Like a good quality magnesium would change your health in a big way in a short amount of time. And then adaptogens is a big one. Like maca is the easiest one to recommend. It's great for hormone balancing. Like, it's great for energizing. And adaptogen meaning it fills in where your body needs it the most. Like, it is such a good quality product. It's probably the most underutilized supplement for women in this age group. Just not taking it regularly, not taking it at all, and then taking it consistently. Like, just take maca. It's so simple. Put in your cereal, put in your shake, put in your smoothie. Like, it does have a taste, but so focus on resting at times, not just sleep. So for example, in our program, we have 6 weeks of workouts. We have 1 week of rest. We call it an active recovery week. So you need to build that into your lifestyle. Like, if you don't have someone doing that for you, you need to build in a rest week. So with our MAT members, we talk about different seasons. So you may have a season where you're pushing hard. You may have a season of relaxing. You have a season of recovery. There's different seasons in your life, and it would be a good idea to match up or add in rest seasons with sprinting seasons, because in this heightened state, we're always sprinting, never relaxing, and then we run into that burnout crash, kind of what I'm talking about today. Avoiding stimulants. I mean, I feel like that's an easy one. I talked about energy drinks. I like coffee. Coffee's coffee. Like, coffee's I feel like polarizing. If you want a coffee, have coffee. Pay attention to what you put in it. If you're having coffee, have magnesium, because coffee strips magnesium. If you have digestion issues, lay off the coffee. Like, coffee contributes to indigestion, leaky gut syndrome. Like, but no one wants to adjust their coffee. That's why I don't like to talk about it. But everyone drinks it. So I would suggest having less, having better quality, and then preparing yourself properly with it. More hydration, more magnesium, added collagen to protect your gut lining. Like, the leaky gut syndrome, I really believe that coffee has a big role in that, because so many people have it and don't even know it. It's like holes in your digestive tract. Collagen can help coat that and strengthen that lining, which is why you need a good quality collagen without junk in it. The last one here is just reframing guilt. Like, there's nothing wrong with you. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, you're not broken, or there's nothing wrong with you that can't be fixed or adjusted or improved on. So having an open mindset and understanding that you can do things in your life to make improvements, and I want to say fixed, but you're not broken, so you don't need to be fixed. You just need to be improved on and adjusted and twisted and molded. You just need a little help. Like, the problem is women, because of your nurturers in this age group, you don't like to reach out. You feel weak, or you feel inadequate. And if you had a little bit of help, you would see leaps and bounds. I'll just leave it at that. It doesn't have to be us, but like, reach out and ask for help from someone that can actually help, because you struggling for the next 20 years trying to figure it out on your own, it's a lonely uphill battle. Have a wonderful evening. Have a wonderful weekend. This is Friday if you're listening live, or soon. So the weather's beautiful out. I hope you spend a lot of time outside, get some vitamin D, fresh air. I love spring. I didn't realize how much I love spring. It's like fresh and new, and everything's turning green. Like, I feel like it's better than midsummer. Definitely better than end of the summer, because end of the summer things it's getting like colder. The days are getting shorter. I don't even want to think about that. The grass is getting a little bit brown, but like spring is like spring. Like, it's like Tigger. I feel like everything's fresh and new and green, and the flowers are blooming. I love it. I'm looking outside at the window at the flowers that are just coming off these trees. I don't even know what kind of. I'm out of here. Have a wonderful day, everyone. And thanks for joining. We will talk to you soon. Bye.